We're a boat again.
We're a boat.
And we couldn't wait to put up the sails. How cool is that? First anchorage. Hey there, I'm Kelsey, that's Tim, and this is the story of our adventure. Life is fleeting, and we want to squeeze every bit out of it. We are wandering the world, so home is a bit of a moving target for us. We love finding the random, the remote, and sharing it all with you. So subscribe to get lost with us and hopefully find some inspiration to go after your own dreams.
Welcome back! If you watched last week, you saw us dropping Goose into the water, and we were wondering if there's any leaks or any issues with all the work that we did. I was hoping the props wouldn't fall off or something crazy like that.
Yeah, we were running around, checking under everything, making sure there's no leaks.
And then there's a whole part of remembering how to do all this. So that hit us all of a sudden, that we kind of rushed, got the boat in the water, lines were cast off, and now we're floating going, oh, how will this go?
We're a boat again.
We're a boat. Check the bilges just when you get it.
Yep.
Our boat is not as slow as something.
I was not prepared with the GoPros or anything because I thought we had about a half an hour more. And then it was like go time. So my coffee was still on the table. The GoPros were still not quite ready to go. So we filmed on the phones, but we are in the water and it feels great. The boat looks so nice. And yeah, it's hard to believe we're back on the water. It feels so good. Whew. That was a hectic morning though.
Yeah, like you don't get a full amount of coffee, and we were going to do 9. I had this feeling that they'd see them early.
Yeah.
They want to get stuff done. They wanted to be done by 9 so they can go on to the next one. So we saw them at 8. And I was like, okay, let's do this.
Here we go.
So yeah, I mean, it worked perfectly. Engines are purring. Still always suspicious, of an engine that's been sitting for a while, but they're still spitting water. This one spit water at first, kind of cleared out what was in the lines, and then it couldn't get the suction to get the process going. So instead of shutting it off, I've learned if you give it a little bit of revs. Now, if you give it revs and it doesn't work, you got to shut it off.
Yeah.
And figure out, get some water in there and get the siphon action going. But I just brought the revs up and then it started spitting, thankfully. So we're a boat again. We don't seem to have any leaks and everything seems to be working. So awesome.
And that right there is where we were sitting, right back there. And we couldn't wait to put up the sails. We've been dying to be back on the water sailing, so we threw the sails up, and it's so weird, the movement of the boat, because we've been on the boat for, I don't know, 10 days or so.
I need you back, sorry.
Okay.
It won't release. So what were we just up to?
So we were interrupted because the autopilot just locked.
Yeah. It said autopilot error clutch overload, which usually means like if you're trying to steer while it's doing autopilot, it'll get upset at you. But it did that when we weren't touching it. And then it locked the steering wheel in place and I couldn't get it to release. So we shut off the instruments. As you can see, our chart plotter's off. Oddly, I can turn on the little B&G display that controls the autopilot. It's fine. It's when I turn this on, it locks the steering wheel. So we can see like the apparent wind yeah, but we have our Windex up on top. And on the tablet we have Overcharge. So this is another situation where I'm really glad we have IS and radio stuff all on the Cortex. Everything else on the tablet.
And we're not going too far today, so we'll get a hand steer and then figure out what the heck is going on.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Died a couple times.
It was so good to be a sailboat again.
Absolutely. It was a little disconcerting when you're cutting through a bunch of tankers at anchor to have your autopilot lock on, but we shut everything off, and it was kind of nice in a way to be manually sailing again and just realizing with all the electronics off, you can do it.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool feeling, and we even got a special visit. How cool is that? Hovercrafts. We heard them coming forever. They're super loud. And I looked through the binoculars. Hovercraft. So cool.
Those were so cool to see. There's something about giant hovercraft like that, all that noise and energy it takes to keep them on the surface of the water. And it reminds me of being a little kid in Southern California. When we'd go down to San Onofre, you'd see them coming out from the base all the time.
Yeah, it was super neat. We had a great rest of the sail, and we almost sailed into our anchorage.
Yeah, there's something so special about when you know you have enough wind, not only to shut the engines off, but sail right into where you're hoping to anchor.
So cool. We did it! My anchor alarm keeps going off. I haven't set it to be the right distance yet, but I hope it. So anyways, our first anchorage. We made it.
We made it.
Time for a celebratory
Cheers.
drink. Cheers.
That feels very well earned. Even
Very
though
well
it was
earned.
only 20 miles.
But it was a great sail. It was awesome.
It was a great sail for the first one back. There's so many things you do when you're sailing. Just 2 months away, really almost 3 with the work week and the travel week at the beginning. And you're just going, I didn't check weather. What am I thinking?
I mean, in general, we checked that it wasn't
Yeah,
stormy, but
no,
like,
of course,
did we
of course.
really
I just
check?
mean, like as much as I normally
Right.
would.
Like, what's the wind supposed
And
to
then
be?
looking at this bay, because we've been here, I was like, we'll just go to where we've been. Let's make it easy. But then I'm getting in here going, normally I would analyze all the different anchorages, and so we did change it up and went to a different one. But you feel like a newbie. We're newbies.
So we feel like it, yeah.
But like, you feel even more of a newbie because you're just like, okay, I got to remember all the many things you do. Here comes a F5, I believe, 2-seater. Maybe it's something different. I know that they use the F5s as training aircraft, but these all seem a little longer. So maybe there's something. Maybe they're 2-seater F5s, maybe there's something different. But it was a great sail. We were cruising along. 8 was the highest we saw, but in the 7s consistently, flying.
Yeah.
For this boat and the old worked out sails that we have. So the bottom being clean helped. I think the props are feathering. We can check now, maybe. Wow.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't see it with the GoPro. I tried to put a GoPro down there, but it was pretty.
But the boat just felt
green.
great. Looked great, felt great. And then we were the only weak point. No, but we did good.
But we did good.
We did good. But it is overwhelming to jump back into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's as overwhelming almost as just buying the boat and getting on it. You know what I mean? But we'd at least been on it in the water. We had gone to get fuel. We had operated it.
Yeah.
This felt cold because it was like dirt life, way back west, and then all of a sudden you're here in a yard, has nothing to do with sailing.
Yeah.
And then boom, you hit the water and you're like,
do I remember how to do this?
yeah. And with the folding props and stuff, you're like, how much do I give it in reverse so I don't hit that boat or that Coast Guard boat or that dock right there? And then we did a nice 180, with the twin screws and forward and reverse, and then got out of the harbor and went, I think we know how to do this.
It looked pro.
It looked pro, but yeah, in my brain I was going, fake it so you make it kind of a thing. And then it like came back. I was like, yeah, you do know what you're doing to some degree. It just felt so good to shut off the engines too.
Yeah. So we saw dolphins. I saw a turtle real quick, and then the hovercraft. That was super cool.
The what?
How do you
LCAX.
LCAX. Tim knows all the names for everything. I just go hovercraft, helicopter, jet. So-
Landing craft, air cushion.
Good. But that was really, really cool to see them. And
So
they got
cool.
so close to us,
Yep.
so that was rad. And then, yeah, we just went basically across the Chesapeake to the Langley. In case you haven't noticed, there's jets coming and going, so we figured it was one of our favorite spots.
Oh, look at it.
So loud. Wow. So yeah, we're gonna do an air show and just relax for one day.
Yep. No
We'll
work.
get back to projects.
Yes.
It feels so good to be back on the water. It was a really hot day. It was like 95, so we were sweating all day long, but it's finally started to cool off, and I'm laying on the tramp listening to the little bait fish below me, and I'm so happy to be back on the water. We worked hard to get here, and it feels good to just enjoy it. What an amazing sail we had today. It was so much fun, and yeah, Tim fixed the autopilot, so even the little drama of something not working we had is all good. And yeah, just a good day. I'm happy. It's good to be here. Well, that's it. What a wonderful way to be welcomed back to the water.
Yeah, and the first time we've ever returned to an
Yeah.
anchorage before, which is pretty cool. So as always, thank you for coming along with us. We appreciate joining us for our adventures.
Yes, thank you for everyone who grabbed some merch. Send us pictures if you have them. And thank you also for everyone who has supported my ice cream fund.
Yeah.
It means a lot. And of course, patrons, thank you all. And we will see you
Next time.
week.
See you next week time.
Time
week. Like and describe. We nailed it.